In the spirit of respect, authenticity, and reconciliation, the town of Slave Lake honors and acknowledges that we are situated on the traditional lands of Sawridge First Nation within Treaty 8 territory, home to Indigenous, Métis, and Inuit peoples who have occupied these lands since time immemorial. Good evening, everyone. We are testing out a new system tonight with our replacement for our microphones. So bear with us if there is a bit of confusion, mostly on my part. So we'll go forth from there. Oh,
No, that's me. Yep, I won.
we're just like I said, it's gonna take a minute.
Motion to accept the agenda as presented.
There's a motion on the floor. Any further discussion? Call to question those in favor, and that is carried. Councillor Choba.
Motion to adopt the minutes from September 2nd, regular meeting of council.
There is a motion on the floor. Any further discussion? Call to question those in favor, and that one is carried.
I think I figured out what happened the first time you hit the button twice.
It's possible. I would like this on the screen because it's hard to see who's talking. So we're gonna get there.
I'd like to make motion that the committee of the whole meeting minutes from September 9th, 2025 be accepted as presented. Sorry.
Perfect. That's okay. We think we would do the, have known this by now. Motion on the floor. Any further discussion? Call to question those in favor, and that one is carried. Okay, we can move as we have no delegations. We can move right into our new business and reports. Our fall 2025 FCSS external community grant. Darcy.
Good evening. Our deadline for the fall 2025 community grants for FCSS was September 29th, 2025. We received 3 community grant requests. Lesser Slave Lake Métis District requested $5,000 for an annual Christmas party. The Connect Club requested $3,500 for their family fun day that they held in the park. And Lesser Slave Lake Bird Observatory requested $2,000 for their continued outreach programs that they do. It is the first request from the Métis District and a first request from the Connect Club, and it's the third request for the Bird Observatory. So if we fund them tonight, it's the last time they can be funded for this program. They would have to reapply for different programs. We fund 3 consecutive years, and then they have to find a way to fund it themselves. So we have 2 options actually tonight because we had more requests than what we had remaining for funding. So we had $4,700 remaining in the $10,000 that was allocated, and our total eligible requests were $10,500. So we've got 2 options. One is to approve them as suggested, which is $3,500 for the Métis District, $3,500 for the Connect Club, and $2,000 for the Bird Observatory, which is a total of $9,000. I do have extra funding in the program funds that we will have for the remainder of the year. And so I would be able to take the extra $4,300 from our program funding and put it into community grants. So option number 1 is to approve the $9,000 with $4,300 coming from the program funds. Option number 2 is to split it almost as equally as possible with the $4,700 and approve the Lesser Slave Lake Métis District for $1,600, the Connects for $1,600, and the Bird Observatory for $1,500. My recommendation to council is to approve it for the $9,000 at $3,500 for Métis District, $3,500 for Connects, and $2,000 for the Bird Observatory.
Okay, I got, the question I have is, reading through the criteria we have for this funding, how does the first one,
The Métis
the
District?
Métis one, fall under that?
So there is separate Métis funding for FCSS to Métis and First Nations. However, our Métis District and our First Nations do not access that funding. So we are able to fund them, especially because it's being hosted in the town of Slave Lake, we're able to fund them under our funding. That's partially why it's a bit of reduced funding from what they asked, because they in turn have to show that they're supporting it as well. So we are okay to fund it because it involves the entire community. It's family orientated and it promotes the volunteerism that they honor at that event.
Okay. Do I keep going?
Yeah, you can keep going.
Okay. Not used to this thing. The other part was the programming. What didn't we why are we under budget for the program?
It's not that we're under budget, it's that we had a carryover this year. We did not spend all of it last year, and where that came from is a difference in wages, because with me taking on the dual role, part of my position now comes out of the pool and out of FCSS. And so we had not altered our programming budget, and so we had a carryover, and this would come from that.
Too slow.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna have fun with this one.
Oh,
I'd like to move that council approves $9,000 in external community grant FCSS funds with an additional funds expended from the FCSS program budget as follows. Lesser Slave Lake Media District Annual Christmas Party, 3,500. Connect Club of Slave Lake Family Fun Day, 3,500. Lesser Slave Lake Bird Observatory Community Outreach Programs, 2,000. $4,700 from FCSS external community grant funds and $4,300 from FCSS program funds.
okay, we have a motion on the floor. Is there any further discussion on that? Okay, call questions in favor. And that one is carried.
Thank you.
Thanks, Darcy.
Thank you.
Next up, we have the fire engine replacement, which I think is Kush.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. The purpose of this report is to update Council on replacement of the fire engine as proposed in 2025 capital budget. Equipment purchase to replace the existing 2011 fire engine was approved in 2025 capital budget for $1.1 million. Our fire department has one frontline engine and one backup engine in the fleet. National Fire Protection Association recommends frontline engines be replaced every 15 years. Town administration completed request for proposal recently, and upon closing, we received one proposal. The proposal document was compliant in nature to the requirement of the RFP, but the overall proposed equipment price was approximately $400,000 over the allotted budget. Also, the preliminary delivery timelines proposed were between 18 and 24 months. Due to that, we, along with fire department, are further working to find alternatives to attract competitive pricing from other suppliers while also tweaking the unit specification. We are reaching out to suppliers through Canoe Procurement, which town is a registered member of. It is a non-profit group purchasing organization for Canadian public and non-profit organizations like municipalities, hospitals, school divisions to access pre-negotiated trade-compliant contracts and leverage collective buying power for preferential pricing on goods and services. So as of today, we are waiting for more model options along with pricing from a couple of different suppliers through that platform. The objective is to find a supplier who can deliver the unit within shorter time frame while also completing the purchase closer to the original allocated budget of $1.1 million. However, due to unusually high price observed during the recent RFP process, the town administration is requesting council to amend the budget from $1.1 million to $1.5 million for the purchase of 2025 fire engine unit. The funding will be covered through a combination of LGFF, Fire Services Reserve, and Future Expenditure Reserve. There will be additional drawdown of $400,000 from LGFF grant funding, Fire Services Reserve, and Future Expenditure Reserve to complete this purchase. Also, something to note that this increased requisition will reduce available funding for other potential projects. So recommendation is council to amend the capital budget for the purchase of 2025 fire engine unit from $1.1 million to $1.5 million, with funding to be provided through a combination of LGFF, Fire Services Reserve, and Future Expenditure Reserve.
I have a couple questions while my mic is on. So this one is split because, so the plan for this, if I'm correct, is not this one. We're not selling fire engines. Okay. Alex,
No, this one is this is not the joint purchase. This is a sole purchase for the town.
this is the sole purchase for the town? Okay, perfect.
Okay. Now I can't remember what I was going to say. Yeah, you were referencing the ladder truck,
Thank you.
I believe, which is the separate one. Okay. Are we getting anything back from the current truck that we have? What are we getting back from that? Do we know what a possible?
until we actually start shopping it around on the market. So one of the questions that may come up is timelines. The reason we're asking for this now is if we can get a stock truck for the 1 million price range, small potential, we could get it by the end of the year. We can't really shop that truck around until we have something solid. And then we can start advertising it for sale. So if we wait 26 months, it's obviously gonna be less than it is today. So, but and the money, the way it usually works is when we resell the vehicle, it goes back to the reserve.
Okay, so any funds from this
We don't build in a
current
trade.
fund will go back to the reserve.
It's too hard to build into a trade on fire trucks because the company building it may not want the trade. So it's easier just to sell it through auction or private sale or
Okay.
closed bid or however that works.
So in theory, that the sale of the current one should cover this overage.
Ish.
Ish.
I wouldn't say 100%, but we could actually bring in more. With the increase that what we're finding with the increased cost of new vehicles, the old vehicles are going for a higher dollar as well.
Okay,
So we could potentially cover this plus,
yeah,
but we don't want to guarantee that in case it doesn't happen.
right. And well, to be honest, I'm not surprised to hear that it's more money now than it was a year ago. We obviously see that trending with lots of different things, especially in this specific department as a municipality. So that's not necessarily surprising. So, okay.
When
thank you
we
for-
originally spec'd it out and then the tariffs came in, timelines changed. So the prices on anything any emergency service related has just gone up.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
My question revolves around the timing of this request. We're in the 2025 year. I don't understand why this needs to be in the 2025 budget. We're not going to be buying this thing this year. It should be under the 2026 budget. And I'm wondering if it makes more sense to put this within the capital expense of 2026 rather than doing this increase for 2025 and dealing with it through budget.
Young. So we did talk about that and as I mentioned, there's a small, slim 10% chance that we could get a stock truck before December 31st. It's a very small chance, but if we covered in the 2026 budget and that opportunity presents itself, so we'd have to come back to council for another approval, or we can wait and see what comes up in 2026. So we would have to pay a deposit if a truck is on the line that we could access in the next couple of weeks. But the full price is not until the truck is delivered.
My understanding is that in 2025, we have the capital expenditure level at 1.1 million.
Yeah.
You're not paying 1.1 million in 2025, right?
It would be when the
Be
delivery.
a few $100,000.
Except that
So-
so to jump in there, if you, let's say the truck's 1.5 and we commit to buying it in 2025 with
Small
the with the 1.1 that we have. If a future council doesn't approve the additional 400, but we've already committed ourselves, like it's a weird scenario to be
But they
in.
don't need to have that in place by the time they make that decision. It can come before council at any point between now and the end of 25.
So normally at the beginning of the month is when they release what's on the line and Kush has been very diligent with the couple suppliers we're working with, and they could present to us at the beginning of November another truck. And if we have to come back for council, it could delay. Those trucks are getting scooped up fairly quickly because of current prices. They're just going up. They're not going backwards in price.
No, I get that. I'm not arguing.
Yeah. Just
I don't
just-
fully understand why you want to, because the decision
just
was
don't
made on this
see-
council
Well, I know that it was going to get done.
and it didn't,
2026 budget is not in place yet.
but it's capital,
Right.
not operating.
Yeah, it's capital budget.
Yes.
And then our allocations will be different than taking it from future expenditure reserve, taking it from the full amount from, or partial amount from LGFF. Wouldn't the full amount then be from LGFF and from our,
No, it was still
Funding?
cost shared between a couple of the different, it wasn't fully funded by LGA.
Yeah, it was a combination of like this 1.1 million was already a combination of
1.1.
few, yeah.
Because LGFF each year, I want to say in Roland's,
Oh,
gonna-
it's
it's
dropping.
it's 852 or
Yeah.
something like that. So it wouldn't even cover the cost of the truck.
Yeah.
I was just curious, mostly understanding the why of the thought to push it. That's all I'm asking.
I mean, I get it. The cost is there. If we're taking it off the line, my understanding it's going to likely be less expensive than doing.
That's the goal.
build-out,
That's the
right. So, I mean, I guess it's a moot point because we probably won't even use it all.
I can tell you there many phone calls and emails back and forth. They're trying to stay in that 1 million budget. It's just getting more frustrating every day.
And so my understanding is by this request, it's just on the in case that we need to, we have.
If we do have to
so-and-sos
pull the
that you're
trigger on the
able to
one that we did
move.
receive at 1.5, we need the money.
So my counterpoint is that I would like to see that completed with this term. That was a capital decision made and this council still stands by that. And so that to fund it appropriately. So
Okay, I'd like to move that council amends the capital budget for the purchase of the 2025 fire engine unit from $1.1 million to $1.5 million with funding to be provided through a combination of LGFF, Fire Service Reserve, and Future Expenditure Reserve.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor. Is there any further discussion? Call to question, those in favor? And that one is carried.
Thank you.
Krish. So now we'll move forward with our service level update on sidewalks and trail snow removal. I don't like that we're already talking about snow, like I do, but for planning purposes, but I don't.
It's inevitable, I think. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Purpose of this report is to provide council a summary of service levels for sidewalk and trail snow clearing. Snow removal on trails and sidewalk falls into 4 categories: sidewalks adjacent to private property, sidewalks adjacent to town-owned property, and trail clearing. Renee Hall Plaza, Hildeben Park parking lot. By bylaw, residents are required to clear snow and ice from sidewalks adjacent to their property within 24 hours from this last snowfall. As well, they are not allowed to place the snow from the sidewalk or private property on the street. This is enforced through enforcement services. The town is responsible for removing snow from sidewalks adjacent to town-owned property as well as the Allery trails. Town crews place priority on clearing snow from the sidewalks as per the bylaw. Renee Hall Plaza falls under our sidewalk program. For the trail network and Hildeben Park parking lot, this is initiated no more than 48 hours after the end of the snowfall. Depending on the amount of snow, it can take up to 72 hours from the end of the snowfall to completely clear the trails. The town has approximately 10 kilometers of trails and 3 kilometers of sidewalks, and it takes approximately 16 to 18 hours to complete snow removal for both sidewalks and trails. During icy conditions, crews will also put down pea gravel and salt at key intervals. The attachment is part of the town's website and is publicly available, which summarizes those areas. Community Services has one piece of equipment used for this work, a Toolcat, which is operated by facility maintenance operators. If this machine is out of service, Community Services will work with operations. If operations are unavailable to provide the service, Community Services will contract the service out to a private company as a last option. Renee Hall Plaza and Hildeben Park parking lot are contracted out as we don't have the resources internally to complete this work. Snow removal on trails and sidewalks enhances walkability, which helps improve the quality of life of residents. Recommendation to council that council receive this report for information.
The same question I have every year. This time maybe it has more validity. Can we look at or again, explain to me why we're shoveling in front of Fournier Place now? And that's our plan when all those lots are owned. It's not really our responsibility. Much the same as how we make the trailer park on West Side shovel their own main sidewalk. But we're shoveling Fournier's for them.
So the only ones we do in Fournier is along 6th Ave, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's the same response as I had, I think the last 2 years was it's direction that we've been given. If it's something that you want to change, I guess we can look at it, but we only do along 6th Ave for Fournier. We don't go into Fournier, right? So
I understand that, but again, that we don't do 6th Ave for West Side Village.
West Side Village is under different management though. Like who owns that sidewalk there that's along the main road? Is it not us? Because Fournier Place
Yeah,
doesn't
but
have a
the
management
town
body.
owns every single sidewalk in town, and yet we don't shovel every sidewalk in town. So
No.
my point being is not to be, sorry.
No, it's not, so I'm bad with directions. So the sidewalk that we're looking there, are we talking about the ones in front of all the houses? Right, so West Side is owned by like a management body, so you don't own your lot there, so that
But
would,
they're still responsible for shoveling the.
right, because they don't own isn't it West Side Village that's responsible for shoveling the amount that's on the road? Except Fournier, there's the fence and the properties are this way. Am I correct?
yeah,
Where,
they're on the north side of the
Yeah.
sidewalk.
okay, north and south, I'm bad with that, so. Or the part of the sidewalk that's my question, is the part of the sidewalk along the back of the houses or the front of the houses that we're clearing?
Back of the house.
Back of the houses. So is there a fence behind the back of the houses and then that? Sorry, that might be a dumb question. So my only point on the difference in that is that West Side is owned by like a management. It's not owned by the individual owners.
I get-
That's where I'm,
What I'm trying to wrap my head around then, is so if I put a fence in my front yard. I don't have to do the town come shovel my sidewalk.
But what sidewalk behind a house is ever, like, is there
Front,
sidewalk
back,
behind?
doesn't-
I would, this is just along the
I know, I'm
road,
just
like,
wondering.
like is a trail system. This is, to me, it's
No.
along the road.
It's not a trail.
Well, not a trail, but it's along the road. That's a main, I don't know, I'm just trying to, I understand, I don't want to shovel people, like, individual who own property are responsible. For me, if it was in the front of theirs, I'd be like, absolutely not, like, that doesn't make sense, because we don't own them anymore. But behind that, I don't, that's the part I'm struggling with. Alex,
If I may ask, Councillor Adams, which sidewalk are you referencing to at the trailer park?
Sorry?
Which sidewalk are you referencing at the west side?
One on Sixth Ave.
There's only a small little piece that's sidewalk there. There's no other sidewalk in front of the,
You've got it identified all the way down.
On Fournier, it goes from,
yeah, Fournier goes all the way down, but there's only
Yeah.
a small piece of sidewalk in front of West Side. There's not a whole sidewalk in front
You've
of,
got it identified as being self-shoveled for the entire length from 8th Street on to the alley, or to the walkway.
we'll have to look into that because there's only a very small section of sidewalk in front of West Side.
Sorry?
There's only a very small section of sidewalk in front of West Side, so we'll have to look into that. I'm not sure what the identification there is.
Okay, so then maybe looking at updating the map then is what you're
I
saying?
think so, because there's only a sidewalk from it's probably only 100 meters at best.
yeah, I was,
Okay, now I've got another dumb question. Then why'd we put a sidewalk in where there's no sidewalk going to it?
I'm not going to touch that one.
Anyways, I'll leave that alone. Okay.
yeah, that was all my line of questioning was to me, it doesn't make sense that if it's not directly in front of you, you're going to shovel the part behind it. I don't know. That's where I'm at. Any other questions from council on the sidewalk?
I think this was in place as well before a lot of those lots were sold. So I mean, if it's a different direction you guys have, then I mean, it's something we can look at too, but.
I would just say I'd like to see this updated, much how we've been trying to get the snow removal one updated. I know this has been brought up multiple times, so if we could maybe just update the map and then it goes away.
About,
The second thing, yeah, I'm not looking for anything, just review it.
no, it's just an update. We can do management task list, just as a friendly suggestion after you're done.
I'd like to move that council receive this report as information.
Okay. Do you want that on the management task list as well? To update
Sure.
and friendly amendment, if we can update so we'll do two motions. As information, any further discussion, call to question those in favor. And then since my mic is on, I will make a motion that we look into updating the sidewalk and trail snow removal so that it reflects actually where we're at. See if there's some difference wherever the sidewalk he's talking.
You're referring to the northwest one that you
Yeah.
talked about previously? So that's or which one are you referring
Sorry?
to?
What's that?
Which one are you referring to as far as review the map, the Fournier one?
Map. The whole map. I just
Well-
mean, I know if you're saying, sorry, if Alex is saying that there's no sidewalk there, yet our map says there's a sidewalk there, let's fix the map so there's no sidewalk there.
Okay.
Yeah, so just,
Because otherwise it's coming up, you're saying that you're cleaning that and that's part of your plan, but it's not. So let's just get rid of it and then it avoids a question going forward.
Okay, we can review it again. Casey's the one that.
Yeah, awesome.
We'll review it because it may the map I'm looking at might just be very bad to tell if there's an actual sidewalk there or not. So we'll speak to it after and we'll review the
yeah,
map.
just to review, and if there's no changes, there's no changes. So there's a motion on the floor for review of the map so that it's accurate. Any further discussion? Called questions in favor, and that one is carried. Thanks, Calvin. Do we have anything for question period for administration? Nothing. Okay, I'm gonna take the silence as moving along. Do we have anything from council for State of the Lake? Councillor Chopa.
Thank you. This year's Fires Prevention Week campaign started from October 5th and runs till October 11th. And the theme is Charge into Fire Safety, lithium-ion batteries in your home. And it works to educate everyone about using these batteries safely. The campaign stresses how important it is to buy, charge, and recycle safely when it comes to these lithium-ion batteries. We did host an open house on Sunday and it was well attended. So thanks to those who made it. And there's still time to catch on the campaign between now and the 11th. Thank you.
Okay. Anything further? I see none. We can move into correspondence. So we have an online form submission for the commemorative lighting. Alex, if you want to.
I apologize, I just closed my screen. Give me one
That's good.
second.
Take your time.
So thank you, Mayor and Council. We received an online submission from the Lennox-Gastaut Syndrome Foundation. They are based out of San Diego, California. We did try to reach out to ask them if they had a more local representative, and they have not got back to us yet. It's they deal with epilepsy, and they've asked for us to change the lighting at the Renee Hall Plaza for basically 2 days in November to recognize this illness and to show support for the disease and the work that they're trying to do. So they've requested November 1st and November 2nd to change the lights. Sorry, they did have a color in here. I believe it was purple and or green. And again, we did try to reach out to somebody local to speak to this, but we haven't had a response back yet.
Does administration, so our policy is that administration brings forth every request, even though they've already vetted it. So we're all, actually, I'll answer that after Councillor Hughes can question.
Thank you. I was just going to say, if this is an international organization, take no issue with that. So I'd make a motion to fulfill their request, please, and have the lights at Renee Hall Plaza switch to purple and or green for their requested dates.
There is a motion on the floor. My question then that I'll throw in there on the further discussion is, does administration see any issue with this at the time? Because I know you have to bring back everyone to us. So I'm just asking if there's any.
No, we have no other conflicts of that date, and we will also advertise it with some social media of why the lights are being changed color for that time period.
So is there any further discussion to that effect? Yeah.
It's
there is.
weird, eh?
I know, it's getting used to it.
I
We'll
know
get
the
there.
flash light. I'm
We'll
not
get
sure.
there.
I like this idea. It's what the intent of that section was on Main Street. Yeah, I wish we'd have more local groups take advantage of this, as it does bring some awareness, gets a social media piece. But for this, I agree with Councillor Hughes. I like it.
Okay, any further discussion? There is, yes.
Great idea. I think I support it as well, but so just the colors, purple and or green, are we gonna add any other messaging so that we create awareness within the community?
Sorry. I need this on the screen. We're gonna get there. This-
Yes, we will work with our communications department to put something out at that time of why the lights are being changed to those colors. And we're hopeful before that time, somebody local does get back to us with a bit more information as well.
Okay. Now, we'll pay attention. Motion on the floor. Any further discussion? Call to question, those in favor. And that is carried.
Yes.
This is absolutely chaotic. Councillor Chova.
Yeah.
Motion to adjourn.
Any further discussion? Call to question, those in favor. And that is carried. Thank you.